Survivor Now podcast.
I was busy on the beach, like I was on Survivor.
I don't believe anything you say on Survivor. I almost called.
It's now time.
I'm so excited.
Oh no!
I actually love you, but
Oh, it's so wrong.
I gotta go. I got something new. Not as exciting as this. I'll tell you that right now, but.
Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of Survivor Social, the Survivor podcast where we discuss Survivor with a focus on the social elements of the game. My name is Kara and today I'm here with Tori. Tori, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm super happy to be here with you. And I found last night's episode to be maybe the most exciting so far this season. So I'm just really excited to get down to it.
Yes, and tonight we have such an exciting guest. I'm so excited because we have Kevin from Survivor Season 48 here. We're so excited to have you. Kevin, how are you doing? How are you enjoying the season?
I'm so excited to be here. Also, I'm in like a Dungeness hotel. I feel like you guys are in like the most perfect lighting with your Christmas lights, and I'm like trying to get this headlight to like shine on my head. But super excited to be here. Also, like this podcasting world is like such a, I feel like everybody has like their own little nuance and stuff, but your intros are like really, really funny. Like just like how you guys like ask each other how you guys are doing. It's just, I don't know, it's like a live talk show. I love it.
Thank you. So before we dig into the episode, make sure to like and subscribe to Survivor Now on YouTube, Spotify, follow us on Instagram. And as a reminder, we are live right now. So if you have any questions, comments, send them in. We'll get to them when you send them in and later on in the episode. So yeah, let's get right into the episode. So this was, I feel like we just got to jump to the most exciting part of this episode. And this was another tribe swap or a tribe switch, as Jeff likes to say. So we get 3 tribes of 4 people, which that's like, I feel like that's kind of scary if you're out there to be on a tribe with 4 people. I know I would be nervous. But we have the new Uli tribe with Christina, Nate, Sophie, and Alex. Then the new Kella tribe with Steven, Shannon, Sage, and Jawan. And the new Hina tribe with MC, Savannah, Rizzo, and Sophie. So, Kevin, what are your thoughts on this tribe swap and how the tribes kind of played out?
Okay, totally honest, right? Just like I'm a math guy, I like look at numbers. I mean, I do like a first time it's happened in a while to have like 2 tribe swaps like back to or like just in the before the merge, and I think that's really interesting. However, I think 3 tribes of 4. To me, it's like, Jeff mentions how it's like nowhere to hide, but because of a decimated tribe early on, and you have Kella going down to 2, and then you have a majority Hina and Uli. To me, I'm like, oh wow! As you break it down again, I would have loved again to have like maybe 2 tribes of 6 and like to like restack it again, and maybe have like a 2-2-2 or like a 3-3-3 or something like that. At least kind of makes it more of a like an equal split. But because you have 2 tribes that are majority, to do 3 tribes of 4, I was like, oh no, okay, this is bad for like whoever is the one on the outs. I mean, it does make it more interesting, and it kind of shaked out accordingly with Sage and Shannon. Like they kind of built up that duo evenly like throughout the pre-merge. So I like the tribes like swap idea, but the 3 tribes of 4, I would have thought it would be better with the 2 tribes of 6. That's just my thoughts. How about you guys?
What did you think, Tori?
Yeah, well, let me start by saying I was completely wrong with my predictions on the pre-show yesterday, where I was confident we were just going to do some sort of different Murgatory situation. Like I thought it was going to be like a 3-tribe Murgatory, which I was happy, honestly, not to see that, because personally, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really a Murgatory fan. Like I'd rather just go back to the normal merge. So whether or not we're going to get a Murgatory next week remains to be seen. But I was kind of happy that it wasn't that. However, Kevin, I do agree with you that could we have maybe done like this sort of tribe swap, a second tribe swap earlier, like before we saw an entire tribe basically get decimated. So when they were down to 4 and then like 3, obviously with Jake's snake fight, like could we have done this tribe swap then, or the first tribe swap then, and then maybe like the second one right after that? I don't know. I just thought it would be maybe a little more interesting. And personally, I'm getting a little tired of seeing so few people at tribal council so early. Obviously, like that happens when you get closer to the merge, when a tribe like doesn't have the majority and they keep losing. But I don't know. I would rather see more people together on the beach shaking things up. So all to say, I didn't mind the idea, like Kevin said, of the 3-tribe swap or the second tribe swap in general. It keeps us on our toes, you know? But could we have done it earlier is my question.
Yeah. I like that, this season is a little different from the past few seasons we've seen. They're doing something different with the 2 tribe swaps, which I think is fun. I think, there aren't that many people, so we aren't really seeing too many new combinations of people. So I agree. I think it would be better to see like just more of them together and see how they mingle, because like a lot of them have like, I mean, basically for most of the new tribes, like there's one new person mixed in with like 3 people that have already been together. So it kind of makes it like, okay, we know what's going to happen. Where if there was more people, more of a mix up, it could be a little more unpredictable.
So true. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, and that's the other thing about a tribe being decimated down to 2 people. I don't think we've had a one-person tribe since Stephanie LaGrossa. So I was about to say an even one person, but that's literally only happened once. But anyway, anytime a tribe gets decimated down to so few people, and we see them being sort of like a lone wolf in a sea of like the red tribe or the yellow tribe, I agree. Like it just sort of either becomes predictable or that person is just sort of like absorbed into one of those tribes and like becomes like a number together. Which can be like an interesting aspect of it in itself. But yeah, I agree with you, Kara.
I also was thinking like, I totally agree with you guys. I think that it's interesting how like the season kind of shakes out with the 2 tribe swaps. But I also think like in a tribe swap once and then twice, I think it's like there's so many different relationships and strategic like alliances that we may have not even seen, or AKA just didn't even matter, because it's like they talked so much on Uli and Hina, like like even Christina and Sophie, they were like working together throughout the entire like old Hina and then like the tribe swap, and then now I'm like, okay, like there's so many different things that can happen. But then if you get tribe swapped into like a new tribe of 4 and you're like the one on the outs, and you're like, it's like 1 of you, and then 3, it's like I don't know you, I barely know you, like I guess you want just to go for the one that like I don't know. And so there's so many like potential strategic relationships or alliances that we just don't see into fruition. I think going into the merge, like to be honest, I would have loved to see what would have happened on the other 2 tribes if they went to tribe. Like, what would be cool if they all went? I know it sounds weird, but like if they all went to tribal, because then it's like, okay, then you have to basically test each of the tribes and like how you swap it, and there's no like hiding. But because of that, we just lose out on like the opportunity to see how like Christina and Sophie would have voted, or even like if MC and Rizzo and Savannah and Sophie, if Sophie B, if they lost, like Rizzo has an idol, Sophie has a knowledge of power, and then MC could get her. It's like, whoa, this could be really, really fun and how it works out, but we just never got to see it happen.
Yeah, that one would have been so interesting to see how that would have played out, because it like, and Sophie knows that Rizzo has the advantage too. So like her taking that and then playing it back on one of the, that would have been crazy. So we have the tribe swap. They, Jeff is talking a lot about how it's really hot there. And like, I feel like we haven't seen him really talk about that much, like in the past few seasons. What was it like when you were there, Kevin? Was it like hot like this when you were there, or is this like just the time of the year that they're filming?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting on the odd and even season, at least in the new era, because you know how they film like twice a year. So like we were the even season, which means we went after 47. And I do believe, like, I'm not really sure about the Fiji weather, like the meteorology stuff, but I think it is hotter like in the May-ish time frames, and like it's usually the odd seasons that start first. So I think it's cooler for us when we go. It wasn't like really hot. I also was there for 5 days, but in the 5 days I was there, I remember it was like warm, but I remember the night times were really cold. Like it was really, really cold. So I know people are always wondering like, why are they wearing like sweaters when it's supposed to be the hottest season ever? But the mornings and like the nights do get really, really cold. But yeah, I feel bad that it was really, really hot, and even Jeff was like kind of dying like during the challenge.
Yeah, that was crazy to see Jeff even have to like take a minute to like gather himself, because I guess it really goes to show like how hot it is. And he's like fully fed, has water, you know. So for him to also have to take a minute. How do you guys feel about everyone calling Jeff like Uncle Jeff or Uncle Jay? Like, do you guys like that?
All right, you go
Hate it?
first.
Oh my gosh. No, I don't like it. I mean, no disrespect towards anybody. I mean, I feel like they're trying something, and I feel like they're trying to make like a more relaxed like atmosphere, make maybe their experience with Jeff more conversational and comfortable. I don't know exactly what they're thinking, but something along those lines might be part of the desire to give him this nickname, but it's not for me. I mean, I guess that's what I'll say for now. I'm not loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kara, how about you?
Yeah, it's not really my favorite either. I don't know. I'm always a little like surprised when someone says it. I was like, oh, okay. We're on that. We're like close like that, I guess. So I don't know.
Yeah, I would say like that. I mean, I will say even when I was in the season and we were just filming, like it is nerve-wracking to like when Jeff calls on you and you're like, Kevin, like tell me about, and you're just like, whoa, and like I don't know if Uncle Jeff is just like like it's a familial thing, like let me just throw it out there. But I remember when Star said it last season, like she's like Uncle JP, like I actually thought that's kind of funny. So maybe
I thought that was funny too.
yeah, and maybe it's like the way you say it or like how you say it, also
Yeah.
the amount you say it. So if it's like once or twice, it's hilarious. Then it'd be hit like 6 or 7 times, like not sure. But like I just like feel like in the like when you're filming, like you're just like gonna say whatever comes in your mind. You haven't like slept, you haven't eaten. So maybe Uncle Jeff is just like them with their way of just coping with like everything going on. It's like maybe
Yeah.
a family member. So I don't know, but how it works. But yeah,
You're
I
so
feel like
right.
it'd be
Sometimes a nickname will just like come out. Like,
Yeah.
have you guys seen I Love You, Man?
I like is that with what's his name?
With Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I've seen like the clips of it on TikTok.
He's like trying to be comfortable with his new friend Jason Segel, and he just like says like this random like word that's not even really a word as like a nickname, and it was so awkward. And it just kind of like it doesn't really remind me of that awkward of a moment, but in a way, it's like sometimes a nickname just comes out, and it's like that's your nickname now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's also part of it. Somebody might have just like let it slip out, and then it just sort of like stuck. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like I'd be too nervous to call him anything. I feel like I'd be too nervous to even call him Jeff if I was out there. So
you're like hello, sir.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Hello,
like,
Mr.
"No, ma'am."
Post.
Yeah. I remember like Courtney from like, China. It's like or
Yes.
like here in Brazil, he's like Jeffrey, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, oh yeah, the only
Ollie says the same
yeah,
thing in the
same.
chat. Yeah.
Jeffrey. It was like that acceptable. Like it has to be like a little bit like sassy, a little bit of like energy, but yeah.
Well, that was
Yeah.
her
I
character.
guess like your
Like,
personality.
she was, like,
Yeah.
that persona, you know?
Yeah, true.
And then we have in the chat, Ben said, it would have been cool if only one team won and then the two losing tribes would all have to vote at one tribal together. That would have been really interesting if that was what happened.
Wow. Okay, wait. Let's do some like what's it called? Like 3D whatever modeling. So like let's see. Hina. No, who wins? I forgot who wins.
So-
MC's team wins, right?
Hina won.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then it'd be Christina, Alex, Sophie, and Nate. So,
You know,
Yeah.
I think it still would have came down to being Shannon or Jawan, honestly.
yeah. I think it would have been still would have been Shannon because they would have taken a shot to get out one Uli member since they haven't gotten an Uli member yet. So I think they would just all band it together. And then if Sage wanted Shannon, like that's kind of how that's what I think. And Nate would have been like, sure, not me. So like,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what. So in
yeah.
the pre-show, similar to Ben's comment, I was kind of like, okay, so hear me out. Like, what if it's the style of Murgatory where like one tribe loses or two tribes lose, and like everybody on that tribe is vulnerable, like can be voted out, but everybody else is like immune. Like whoever is on that winning tribe or team, like they're immune but can vote in the tribal council. Like that's kind of what I was like thinking might happen. I don't really know why I have these thoughts sometimes because like why would I think that that's what would happen? But yeah, it's kind of similar to that. Like maybe that was just like wishful thinking. That's what I was hoping for.
Okay, hilarious you say that because there's sometimes when I'm just showering randomly, like it's like seriously like 7 a.m. on like a Thursday morning, and then like I'm just like oh, I have so many meetings today, I have to do this, and then I was like, how come in a mergatory, like when there are like 6 people and they're all safe, how come the other people have to like beg for their vote? Like I'm like,
So,
like, what is this?
do we think we're not getting a mergatory this season then, right? We think we're just gonna merge and they're going into jury basically.
Yeah. I do have a thought about that. I feel like like to any Survivor player, like everyone deserves whatever like placement or like like it happens. It's like actual factual, like it is your place, like 16, 14, 12, whatever. But I don't think placement means like everything. Like it doesn't determine whether you're a good player or you're a bad player. Like it literally is like how it shook out. And like there are like times when I saw like a decimated tribe and I'm like, ooh, as long as I'm not that, like just don't be that and you're fine. And then I'm like, oh, now I'm on Bula. Like how do I become a decimated tribe? So like I feel like there's people that like don't go to tribal at all, like Christina, Sophie, and who else? Christina and MC don't go to tribal until basically the merge. And like like they're still fantastic players still. And like, we just don't see a lot of the strategic move because they never had a chance to do it. And then it's no ding on them because it's just literally they still go to tribal, so they don't ever have to present that case. But it just makes me sometimes like, man, I would have loved to make merge, and just like see what happens. And like if I didn't have to go to tribal because of it, like I would love that. But like sometimes it just doesn't check out like that. So it was just interesting. I was like, I think I noticed that. So I was like, oh wow, like I've never seen Sophie, Christina, or MC vote yet, and it's already like the merge already. So I'm really excited now to see next week like how it happens, because like they'll have to get tested, and like we'll have to see like if the Sophia and Christina thing was actually a thing, or was it just like let's just make this a storyline and like see what happens, but it's not going to play out during the merge.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. And also we had a whole reward challenge this episode, which is something that we haven't seen. Usually it's like linked with the immunity challenge. So this was fun. What did you think of them doing a reward challenge like this?
I liked it. I love a good reward challenge. I just like challenges in general. Like that's a big reason like why I even got into Survivor. And so the more challenges, the better. So I did really like them separating the two things. And I think this episode, I also liked the challenges in general, because something that I was saying last night on, I think like the after show, is that even though some of these challenges are what I referred to as like original recipe, meaning like some sort of like obstacle course that ends in either like a puzzle or some sort of puzzle type thing, like the little, what do you call it? Ball maze. I can't even think of like the word for it, whatever they had last night. Even that is like somewhat of a puzzle. So it ends with something basically not physical. So even though that's like, in my opinion, like original recipe, we're seeing like different versions of that still. Like, I don't think we've ever seen like the bag stacking thing, which I can't remember if that was immunity or reward yesterday. But either way, in general, this episode, I liked both the challenges. And it was nice to see them get a decent reward. Like we were kind of laughing about the look of some of the grilled cheese sandwiches and how they were like paper thin. Oh no. But I mean, it was nice to see them eat, and I was glad that Sophie B got to eat for sure.
Yes, she finally gets to eat for the first time in I don't know how many days they've been out there, but this is their first time having food out there, which has to feel exciting. And it was funny when they were talking about the grilled cheese. They're like, what kind of cheese is this? And they're like, I don't know. I don't care. I'm eating it anyway.
Do not care. It's so funny too. Like, I know that like they say, and maybe Kevin, you can like speak to this a little bit, but like, I know they say like, pace yourself. You don't want to make yourself sick. But I'm like watching these people eat like so politely sometimes their reward food. And I'm like, I'd be devouring like all those sandwiches, all of those brownies, especially if I was Sophie. I'd be like, give me as many as possible. Like, y'all don't even deserve these. These are mine. Like, I'd be like stuffing my face. So it's, I don't know. They're very polite about it. I don't know that I'd be the same way.
Yeah. I mean, it is true. I forgot, what was it, Ko Wrong? Or like, was it Joe who ate like a lot of food and then had to get like evacuated. So I remember like that's like always in my mind. Even when we were like, well, I didn't eat anything. I like did not eat anything because Bula had also had no food on the beach and we never won a reward. But I will say that like I still remember the scene from Micronesia. Remember when Sari had like her fingers in the chocolate cake? And then like Eric was like, I'll pay $20 to like lick it off your finger or something like that. So like to me, I'm like, yeah, that is like what I kind of that is like the essence of like what I like to see in Survivor is like just like raw, unfiltered like mess. But I do think like you have to pace yourself because like like you could literally get medevac just by eating way too much food because you had so much food. And Sophie didn't have any food for 11 days. And that is like, I didn't have food for like 5 days and I was already famished. Like imagine not having food for 11 days. Okay, I will make a fun story. Like when we were on Bula and we didn't have any food and we were like kind of starving. The first couple days are really, really like hard. And then I think once you hit like a certain threshold, you're just like, I haven't eaten. Like, so what? Like another day, like it's not going to make me remember food anymore because I'm just past that threshold. But I remember like me and Stephanie found these like unripe papaya and we were like, okay, like it's food. Like, how do we make it delicious? So we like cut it open with the machete and it was so rock solid and it was like it was just like tasted like nothing. And I was like, wait, we could get seawater. So we like dished it with seawater and we're like, oh, it's kind of salty. It's like a pickle. And then we're like, okay, it's not bad. And this stuff was like, this is gross. Like,
wow.
we're just like something. So the fact that they got food or Sophie got food after 11 days, I'm like, she deserved, like, she's been through a lot. Like,
100%. Like, deserves it more than anyone, for sure.
Literally. She deserves a break, you know, after all of that. So then after this, they go back to their new swap tribes, you know. We see the people who are kind of like on the bottom of their new swap tribe, like talk about the position we're in. Like we see MC talk about how she's potentially in a bad spot because Savannah, Rizzo, and Sophie have been together, you know, on that last swap. And she goes to Rizzo and tells him that Sage told them all about his idol. What were your thoughts on MC doing this? Kevin, what did you think?
So yeah, I think so. One, I mean, I think Sophie and Sophie and Savannah and Rizzo got like the best possible. Like if you're gonna get any tribe swap possible, do it with your two best allies. Like that, it was like golden for them to get that kind of tribe swap. And to get to and then any single person after that, you're like, I'm good. I'm not getting voted out. But it just so happened to be MC who had the beware advantage. And I was like, oh, this is good. Because if it was like anybody else, if it was like any Hina member, they'd have been like, great, like you're out because we want to get you out anyways. If it was an Uli member, those three are sticking together. It's like those three. Now it would have been cool to see if it was those three and Nate, because Nate's been working with them. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like, who would they side with? But I think MC. So MC knows she's on the bottom of that, just like but also I think she just assumed that like because they were together that they would be working. Like you never know, because like Sophie could have been like sided with other, but I think if you just look at context clues, like who's Sophie gonna side with? Like Hina members who are getting voted out, or like the old Uli. So I think MC just put two and two together and was like, okay, those three are together. I think by telling Rizzo that thing, at first I thought she was smart to do it, because like if she just is like, I'm looking to gain alliances, I'm looking to, like, she's not bringing anything to the table that those three could potentially be like, oh, it's going to be extra beneficial for me. She just like, she needs to bring something that Rizzo can be like, okay, not only is she valuable information, people are talking to her, like she's actually the one like making like the connections or like clocking tea if needed. So like if I'm Rizzo and I'm like, wow, she actually knows a lot more, to me, I'm maybe might save her, because then she has potential info that the two might not have. I mean, probably not if those two are my besties, but like just like she was doing something to be able to say like, hey, not only am I a Hina member and I might be the easy vote out because I'm just like, but I know a lot of information. I know that you have an idol, like things are cooking. So I thought it was smart. I don't know if it did anything to really change, because Rizzo was like, I don't really care if anyone knows or not, but like I just thought it was something that she had some kind of knowledge as she said it. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, that's a good point of like Rizzo hearing that she knows about it, and then maybe putting two and two together that people are talking to her and she's maybe in with people and has like close allies. I didn't even think of that. That's a good point. What do you think, Tori?
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was like interesting. It was an interesting moment that could like come back into play later on. So I'm excited to see like, okay, is this going to cause Rizzo to like play his idol, flush his idol now that everybody knows? Like, is it going to instill some fear in the Riz God? Like, we'll see about that. If I'm Rizzo personally, like even though yes, he has an idol, so he knows he's safe for like at least like the next vote or so. If I'm Rizzo though, I'm starting to get a little worried about my numbers because like now we know that Sage told all of this like old Hina tribe that about his idol, his advantage, which also affects the rest of old Uli. And they're already kind of like I don't know, they had a little bit of tension with Jawan. I don't know, specifically Savannah, like obviously has been really annoyed with Jawan. And if I'm like the rest of Savannah's alliance, I'm starting to get worried about that because it's like if Jawan gets any inkling that we're annoyed with him and maybe like didn't want to work with him or wanted to get him out, he can jump ship and go work with somebody else, like other people that he's now built like more connections with or something like that. So if I'm Rizzo, I'm starting to think ahead. Like maybe I need to start crunching some more numbers and figuring out who my new numbers actually are.
Yeah, I was also thinking like because MC said that to Rizzo, like I mean it's a good thing that they didn't lose because if they lost and like you know one of them has to get voted out, but because they didn't lose, now what Rizzo has is knowledge that like okay, if Savannah's already annoyed with Jawan and wants Jawan as a number, but now Rizzo is like okay, I can potentially use MC or like I could utilize they could utilize each other basically to have now a reason to vote out Sage. So like he just kind of putting like different Uli members on top of like the pecking order instead of him and being like, okay, Jawan's an easy one for Savannah because of whatever tension they had over the bag and like the water bottle. Like that's already like once Jawan's gone, it's like if Nate and Savannah are close and now Shannon's gone, it's like, okay, who else in the Uli tribe can they like expend or like not use? And having that information that MC gave is like helping her position herself like to trust or have Rizzo trust her, but also then puts a reason to like go after your own Uli tribe and being like, well, she kind of is already jumping ship already. And like then he could utilize that information back to like Savannah and like Nate and be like she's not on our side, obviously. So like it's just like using information that other people give you and like how to use that best. And I feel like the best Survivor players, they never push. They just like get the info and are like, okay, how do I like utilize the information and then like spread it or like seed it to people.
Yeah. And Zan says, come merge, Sage may find some new enemies, which I think could definitely, you know, not be good for her, especially, you know, potentially after this episode, you know, I don't know what's to come for Sage, I guess. But we even see like, actually, first I want to ask, like, do we think a public idol is bad, or do we think it's beneficial for the person who has the public idol?
Ooh, Tori, what do you think?
So it could go either way, and I do think it depends on perhaps like the season that you're on and how they're choosing to play the game, because it can either be like something to dangle over their head and be like, I have this, so if you write my name down or people are writing my name down, you better split the votes. And that gives him a little more wiggle room, or whoever has the idol a little more wiggle room to be able to maybe rally the troops and get their numbers to vote out somebody else. And all it would then take is whatever, like the majority vote, not all of the votes. So sometimes we see something like that. And that's kind of, in my opinion, like, I feel like Malcolm like started like that way of like playing the game. Maybe he obviously wasn't like the first person to figure that out, but we saw in season 26, which was Fans versus Favorites 2, he held up his idol and was like, this is like an idol I want you all to know we have. Like, if you vote for me, I'm using this, and you're not going to know who I vote or use it on, like out of my alliance. We're voting for Philip. You all better vote with me. Otherwise, like, it could be, you know, like a bad situation for you and whoever else you think you're working with. So all to say, like, we saw that, and that became sort of like a pattern of gameplay. But it can also be like something that, okay, everybody knows about this. So like let's make him comfortable and make him think we're not voting him out, and then let's flush that idol. So whether he actually gets voted out or not in that situation, his idol's gone. So, I mean, we see it play both ways. I think overall, I don't like public idols. Like, I'd rather see more people like keep it secret, like drop this bombshell on people at tribal council, like in the olden days. And that makes for better TV. And I think that that's just better gameplay, in my opinion. So that's what I'll say.
Kara, what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Tori, like we've seen situations where it could help. Like we've seen it a few times on Australian Survivor as well, where people have idols, everyone knows about it, and you know, no one really does anything about it, and they get to go further with it. I think it all depends. I don't think right now it's bad for Rizzo, but I think it could potentially be bad come merge. But in general, I agree. I like a hidden idol better than a public idol.
Yeah, I think as a fan, I mean, obviously you like hidden idols and people not telling anybody because it's like a huge blindside. Like you don't know what's coming. I will say like a public idol is actually like the most beneficial thing you can do is use it for social capital. So like there's a couple times people use that. Yule in Cook Islands, he had that super idol. I don't know, like it was like it like you could use it after the votes or whatever. And he basically just like dangled it and was like, this is what's happening. Like I can do whatever it takes to make it not you or you. And if you don't vote with me, like this is what's gonna work. And like I think even like so like Eva had an idol last season and Chia was in a majority alliance and she was winning challenges and Joe and her were like kind of running some things. So like I feel like even having that, like it kind of depends on who has the public idol. So like if it's like someone who's like on the bottom of the tribe, the public idol is great because you're like, I need to get some social agency here. The way to do it is be like, in order to flush my idol out, you have to either all put the votes on me, which won't happen because my one vote can knock somebody out, which you don't want. Then secondly, what you'll have to do is split the votes, which means you need to find a second person who's willing to get like the recipient of it. So like you can actually utilize that then to gain a lot of allies or to gain like some changing of the like alliances or maybe the majority, but that has to be played perfectly. We're all saying it in our head, like, this is what I would do. And then when you're out there, I will say when Say had her idol on Bula, like she was powerful. I was like, oh my goodness, like that is so, because like in a tribe of 6, if someone has an idol and you're not voting for her because she can use it whenever she wants. And also Say had good alliances with Justin and Cedric. So like on my vote out, I was like, wait, this cannot happen because if Mary goes home in that round or the second vote, and then now it's 4 of us, if Say still has her idol, well, it'll be called a public idol because we all know about it, the 4 of us, like and like those 2 are not going to vote for her and they're not going to vote for each other. So it's going to be on me. So to me, like the idols that everyone knows about, the people that don't have it, it's just very scary. So I can see why like, even like for Alex, when he played his public idol, like even though they were like, oh, he shouldn't have, you should, because like you want to flush it, you want to carry it onto a next round because that's what Sage did. Sage told everyone that Rizzo has an idol. So like you just don't want to have that like knowledge come out and like you be like, oh, shady about it when like it's a public idol. Like you didn't have anything to do with about it. So I would say like it depends on how you use it. I suspect Rizzo would probably use it in the next couple tribals, either one, just to like solidify his alliance, his safety, but also like if idol on a merge, it's like everyone knows you have it. He's in a good alliance right now. It depends on if he starts losing some of the Uli members and then feels like, oh no, Hina and Kella are linking up together. Maybe that's when he'll use it. I don't know.
And, you know, there's some talk in the live chat about something that happens, you know, next. And it is the new Hina tribe goes on a hunt kind of to see if they can find anything out in the jungle, whatever. And we see Sophie finds a knowledge is power, which, you know, for her is beneficial. We kind of touched on it a little earlier. Ben says, hoping we finally see knowledge power used successfully this season. We see Zan says that he can tell that Tori is waiting to talk about it. So how do we feel about knowledge is power being hidden and like advantages coming up now like this on the new swap tribes?
Tori, go for it. Your face is waiting.
Well, I guess apparently my face is saying something. I will say Zans knows how much I love Sophie B. I ride so hard for Sophie B. And
Mhm.
I talk about it every time I'm on. So I think it's more or less like a running joke at this point. So I think that that's why that comment came up. But in general, one thing I'll say, I think that I might be in the minority here. Like this might be a hot take. I don't know. You all can tell me. But knowledge is power is not an advantage that I care for too much. Only because now this could be different since we see so far Sophie is keeping this a secret. So I'm hoping that she continues to do that and is able to like suss out who has the advantage or the idol and is able to, as Ben said, use it successfully. Because I think what happens is that people play hot potato with their idol, and then we see somebody like just sort of like be made a fool of, like what we saw in 41. Like I didn't love that. Like, yeah, it's like good TV. It's like kind of haha, okay. Like they played you. But in general, it's not one of my favorite advantages. However, as I said, I'm glad she's keeping it a secret, and I'm glad it was Sophie that found it. Like, I'm glad she's gaining some. She's had like a little bit of like I don't know if momentum's the right word, but like she's obviously had a big edit, so she's obviously like doing very well this season despite her losses. But I was glad to see her have some positive momentum this episode. Now, an advantage I would love to see come back up instead of a knowledge is power is maybe like an idol nullifier. Like I think that that's one of the better advantages. Now, it doesn't require really a lot of strategy because I think it can usually be played like after the idol is played. But I think that I don't know, it just leads to more shakeup, I guess, at tribal council. Like this person thought they were safe, they play the idol all proudly, and then they have the idol nullifier played on them, and then it's like, oh shoot, like now what? So I find that a little more exciting. But those are my hot takes.
Yeah, and Gemini says Sophie B had a great episode, and I agree. I think so too. Yeah, what do you think about the knowledge is power, Kevin, coming into play here?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything Tori said. I think so. Okay, I'm not sure if this is a hot take or not. I thought the knowledge of power was too easy to find. Like to me, it was like just laying there. And also, that's our old beach, and I was like, I looked there so many times. I knew they should have. It was somewhere else, but I was like, wow, it's like it's a good advantage, but it was just like I was like, I thought they would have to like work kind of hard to get that, but it was just kind of lying there with advantage, which means like I was like, oh, is there an advantage on every new beach? Like because if we found the knowledge is power, like are there just two other advantages that we don't know of? So I'm not sure about that, but I love the idol nullifier like that. I mean, David versus Goliath is one of my favorite seasons, and like that idol nullifier play was just like chef's kiss because there were so many different advantages played. I actually personally think so. Yeah, one, like I think everyone was praying that Sophie didn't tell anybody, just because like it's just such a good way to like keep that power to yourself. And I like I'm like was thinking to myself, would Sophie ever tell anybody? Maybe she'll tell Savannah and like Rizzo later on. But I'm just glad that she kept it to herself because she's like, this is like finally something that I have. Like, everyone has numbers. Everyone has alliance members. I'm like just getting a grilled cheese sandwich on day 11. Like I'm building my momentum up. So the fact that she has a knowledge is power, I'm like, okay, good. This is good for you to build up. Now, something that I would love to see instead of the knowledge is power. So we're talking about like what to do instead of knowledge power, because you're right. Like on 41, like Xander and Liana, like it was a great moment, but also, I actually kind of felt bad for Liana. I don't know why. I
did too.
Yeah. I would have loved to see her get a Steela vote. And the reason why I think that's such a good, or I like it more than knowledge is power, is because a Steela vote like first changes, it could literally change a majority alliance like that moment, because you literally are taking it's like a plus or minus 2 basically. You take that one and you can vote for someone that you want to vote for. And then second of all, because you have to steal someone's vote and you have to do it before tribal, I would love to see them like steal the vote before tribal, and then literally people go into like chaos during tribal because you're just like, and then they have to like redo it. That's what I would love to see at tribal, is that to happen. And I feel like a steal a vote like literally gets people who are on the bottom to have some sort of life back and change it. Because I think like even on our season on Vula, like that steal a vote could have been so powerful in so many different cases to like, swing a 4-4 to a 5-3, or like make a 5-3 to a 4-4. Like it could have done certain things. So that's what I would have liked to see. But I'm excited to see how it gets used. I'll be so shocked if it gets used on Rizzo. Like that would be like a play. And I'm sure someone will have an idol in the near future. I mean, like there has to be another idol out there. Like if MC gets her idol, or if someone finds Alex's idol or like a re-hidden idol again, like so maybe Sophie might have a chance for that, like to use it then.
Yeah, because I mean, so Sophie found it before the immunity challenge. So if they lost, MC would have been looking for like to figure out the beware advantage and find the idol. And I feel like that could have came into play like instantly because I feel like how could MC have hidden herself looking for it with only 3 other people on the beach, you know? So I feel like had they have lost and MC started looking for it and Sophie has that, like I feel like that would have been prime opportunity to steal it from her. It didn't happen, but I feel like that could have happened if they lost.
No, that would have been interesting. You're right. And like this is a little bit of like a backtrack, but like Kevin, what you were saying with the steal a vote and like with my thing about wanting to see like the idol nullifier, like all of these advantages, I guess now that I think about it, are made to make somebody look kind of like an idiot in that moment. Like they're obviously not bad game players, but like in those moments. And that's what I said I didn't like about knowledge power, the way it's been used before, like what we've seen. But I think the difference is that like with yours, like we see a shakeup that involves like some re-strategizing in the moment. Like I want to see the strategy. And then with the idol nullifier, it allows you to keep the strategy that you've already been using. Like you were like, I made these alliances. We planned on voting this way. Like I'm going to play this idol nullifier to keep it old school Survivor style and not let you change my plan that I worked hard to create. You know what I mean? So in both those cases and in all of these cases, I feel like it involves a little bit more strategic thinking or it puts, like in your case, it puts people in a panic mode, which I think is a little more interesting to see how things shake up with such short notice. That's what I'll say, I guess, about my preference for advantages. Overall, I'm not really an advantage fan in the first place. Like I'd rather see just like plain idols and maybe like 1 or 2 big advantages, like shake things up like a couple of times and make it hard to find, like you were saying, Kevin, like don't make it just like in the middle of a couple trees and just really kind of like drop a bomb on the game. But
I will say though, I will say, okay, so like it's not that easy to find advantage because like there are tons of trees everywhere. So like to Sophie's point, like she probably searched a long time and like found in the crevice. I just thought it would be like a multiple step thing to get the I didn't think it was like once you find like the little scroll, like it's already there. I thought it had to be like maybe like a 2 or 3 step. So like Sophie, love you girl. Like but I thought it would be harder to get at the end. But also like I think like you're right, like with advantages, like I do like the steal a vote and the idol nullifier, but you're right. I think when it comes to like just like natural, like okay, how does the gameplay work? Like I'm excited to see like how if MC does find her idol, or I mean she'll have to find get her idol next, because like I think it was like if your tribe loses, but like you're hitting the merge, so I think you just go straight to like she needs to find her the idol, or she doesn't have a vote, right? The next tribal she goes to, which is the merge. So she'll have to do it. And like one thing that was like kind of cool to see, like if MC and Rizzo and Savannah and Sophie went to tribal or like lost the immune challenge, is like I would love to see that goose chase happen, because like she'll be like, I don't care anymore if you know like I have something, I have to find it. So she'll like dart, and then you have the other 3 like darting after her because they want to see like what's going on. Like that would have been like a really like, I feel like it would have been so chaotic, like just like how that actually happened, and like the panic, because it is like for tribal, like once you lose, you don't know when you're going to tribal. It's like it can happen anytime. Like, and as the sun is setting, you're actually panicking because you're just like how many combos do I have left? Who's talking right now? So I'm excited to see probably next episode. And like the preview for next episode when Savannah falls, I was like, what if she like grabs it from, I don't know. I was just like thinking something like, what, like that could have happened. Like brawl comes out of it, but I don't know. Did you guys watch Australian Survivor?
No, I didn't.
Yes.
Kara is all about it.
Kara, remember when Part got her scroll, or not scroll, a little letter advantage for the idol, like to take an idol, and she basically said tribal, and she was like, Cass, like, I don't know, like I could use it. I'm not sure. Like, should I do it? Like, I like that to me is like a perfect play of how I could never do that in my heart. Like, I just can't mentally.
It was so good. It was genius, and it worked, and no one questioned it, which was even better. I think I'd feel bad.
Yeah. So that's basically it.
Yeah. Okay, so I feel like I had something else I was going to mention about advantages, but I can't remember. So maybe we'll come back to it. But basically we see them switch to like the other tribe. We see the new Uli tribe where they're kind of trying to figure out, they're like, Nate would be the name, but we need a name to throw out to like kind of be the decoy. And Christina says Sophie, and Sophie does not like that whatsoever, which is fair. So then Sophie goes to Alex and they kind of try and build like a bond. Do you think this bond would have stuck if they lost and went to tribal, and it could have been potentially Christina going or Nate going? What do you think would have happened hypothetically?
Kevin, you go first on this one.
Okay. I don't, like, obviously we're not them, so we're just all speculating. I have a feeling, so like maybe like Sophie in that moment. So Christina has to say something. Like, what is Christina gonna say when they're like, okay, we're gonna put it all on Nate, but who are we gonna tell is not gonna, like, who are we gonna tell Nate it's gonna be? And it's those three. Like, she's not gonna be like, it's myself. So like, like she has to say either gonna be Sophie or Alex. So maybe in her mind, she should have said Alex. So like Sophie just feel, because they've been working together since the very beginning. So that maybe could be a way, but also Christina's way of just saying like, hey, I trust you, like I trust you, and like I know that we would be working together, and like I don't, you're no way you're going home because we're all gonna vote like Nate. So like you don't have to worry about it. I think in Sophie's mind, like obviously anytime someone says your name, it is like you're dead to me. Like I remember when Matt was like Nate, and then Nate was like, you're done. Like you basically need to leave.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Like, see you. So I think like in that moment, that's probably what Sophie was feeling, is like, oh, like a person that I really, really trust and is like my number one, blah, 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 is saying my name, like, got to go. Would that have actually, like, if they like had that moment, yeah, sure, you feel whatever. And let's say you lose tribal and you're like, okay, first of all, remember, you're down two Hinas. This whole Uli Hina war, I was like, is it really a war anymore? Because you're two down. Like MC doesn't have an idol, doesn't have a vote. Rizzo has an idol. Sophie has I'm like, what war is happening here? Like, two's already gone. So I have a feeling that if it was the case and they went to, I think Sophie and Christina would have talked and been like, okay, I know we said it, but like, but we need to vote Nate. Because like, really, like, we need to take out an Uli member. If we take out another Hina member, we are down 3. And what's it called? Kella has 2. Like, even if we combine with Kella, that's 5, and we don't even have majority because Uli is 6. So like, I think no matter what, I would have thought Sophie and Christina would have been like, you guys, it needs to be Nate, no matter what. Even if I'm mad at you, whatever, it needs to be Nate. Like, that's my thought. What do you guys think?
No, it's so true, and like all your points are so valid, and I kind of, I totally agree with you. One thing that I think it was either Abraham or Bruce on the after show last night. I can't remember who, but I thought that this was like a really good idea. And that was if I'm whatever, Christina or Sophie or whoever is deciding to go talk to Nate, like a good way to play it, they said, so I can't take credit for this idea, but they said that a good thing to do might have been just to like go up to Nate and be like, all right, so what are you feeling? Like, who do you feel connected with? Like, who do you want to vote? And then that way it's Nate throwing a name out. So even if they're not like planning on working with Nate, you're still safe because you're not throwing a former friend's name out there. So I thought that was like a good thing to do. Now, obviously, like when you're sitting there, like strategizing and trying to figure out what to tell this person the plan is going to be, I'm sure like it's easier said than done. Like, I'm sure I would probably, if I was out there, like run my mouth at certain times and accidentally be like, okay, well, why don't we just say whatever, Alex, or why don't we just say Sophie? And now Alex or Sophie is pissed at me. You know what I mean? So it's like, it can happen in a split second, and it's maybe not something that she even really thought was a big deal or like really thought before she spoke. I guess that's your lesson. Always think before you speak. But yeah, it would have been interesting to see them go to tribal. I think I'm ultimately with you on what would have happened in that situation, Kevin, which is that like it's better just to keep whatever numbers you do have left, unless you are so confident that you've made connections elsewhere that you know are locked in with you. Like if you're super connected with Alex, if you met like a former Uli on the other tribe and you were vibing with them, like whatever. Unless you're so confident that like you can jump ship and you will be safe, which how can you ever be fully confident? It's better just to like keep as many numbers as you can on your side.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I think they would have came back together and then just voted Nate out because, you know, this original Hina, original Uli is like such a big storyline, and like it keeps coming up where I feel like at that point they would have just, you know, stuck with it and voted out Nate. But then we get to the immunity challenge. The first two tribes are safe. The one coming in third place is going to tribal, and the Kella tribe ends up being the one losing and going to tribal, which means Steven, Shannon, Sage, and Jawan are going. And even before the immunity challenge, we kind of see a little look into the tribe dynamics. Like we see Jawan and Steven kind of, bonding. Oh my God. Bonding over.
You're like man-on-man alliance.
Anyway, moving on from Jawan and Steven.
You like get so choked up seeing two guys alliance. You're like, I can't do this anymore.
Guys, let's go. We'll talk about the girls now.
Yeah.
We see them bonding over dad jokes and Marvel and like nerdy things. But then we also see Steven and Shannon talking, and Shannon's like, I got you, like, we're in this together. And then we see Shannon and Sage kind of being like, we got to stick together. So, you know, all of this is happening before, it happens after the immunity challenge. And then Shannon starts to throw out Jawan's name, which, you know, isn't great for the Ulis if they want to all stick together. So what did you think, Kevin, of Shannon and how she kind of handled this part after the immunity challenge before tribal?
Yeah. Okay. So I will say that I like just being part, like I think watching it as a fan and like as a just fan of the show before actually going on and like doing the interviews and doing confessionals and watching like the edit afterwards and being so critical of like the edit or just like all of that before watching it, I think I just took everything by face value. So whatever I see on screen, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why is it so AKA performative, or why is she like, or he so intense? Like, you know, just like you're taking all these different perspectives of what the show is showing you, and you're just taking that as like the truth. I think after playing, there's so many conversations, so many either alliances that weren't shown, or just like how things that you thought were perceived just wasn't the way that they edited or showed. So like, I think obviously they were doing the Shannon versus Sage bit for a while. Like it's been brewing since probably like episode like 2 or 3. So well, like I met Shannon in person. I think she's like lovely. Like nothing like that I found that was like, you know, to whatever, you know, the edit wants you to show. But I do think because this is a show about obviously voting people out. It's about people who are wanting to show like who they can trust and not. I think the whole thing about like Sage just ensuring that like, okay, even though Shannon's on the Uli tribe, like, but she's been throwing my name out. Like to Sage, it was all about, it wasn't about like her. It was about like, you know, what she was saying to other tribe mates and like how she was positioning herself. But it really is like the whole case of like, once someone says their name and once someone's basically saying like, you are amazing, like you're great, and then hearing like, oh, she wants you out, it's like, then why are you know, like telling me all these different things? And it's also just Shannon's play of just making sure she feels good with everyone and that everyone feels good for her. So like I did a little bit of that on my tribe too, and then I was like, I'm best friends with everyone, and then Stephanie's like, who are you voting out? And I was like, ooh, that's a hard one. Yeah, like, it's me. And I was like, you know, it's like those things. So like I think that Shannon and Sage thing was brewing like definitely for a while, and like Sage is just a person that just can't, you know, hide what she's gonna emote, what she feels. And to be honest, I kind of inspired by that. Like both of them, just like they're just gonna showcase how they are no matter what, like, and how they feel inside. And I personally am like very inspired by that. I'm a person who's a lot more like guarded with like even if I feel something, I might not necessarily say it out loud. I'll just, keep it to myself. But I thought it was funny. I thought that, like, some of the things that they were doing, like the way that they edited it, like the mwah or like the holding hands, like I thought that was actually kind of cute. So, yeah. But overall, and also the Joanna Steven thing. I mean, Marvel loved it. The dad jokes. I don't know. I was like, come on, let's go. Like, yes, you guys are bonding. Like, you guys are bonding over dad jokes, and like, yeah, great. So like, I just thought that was like something that was good, but like I thought could just be like, I don't know, fast forward. What do you think, Tori?
Yeah, totally. No, it's so funny. I feel like we have similar thoughts as we're watching, because I did really enjoy like the back and forth between Shannon and Sage. Like, I thought that was really entertaining. Obviously, I'm sure Sage was just itching to finally get to tribal council so she could make this work against Shannon. And she played it beautifully. I think Sage, all these S names are like confusing me. But I think Sage is really good at leveraging the information that she has when she needs to use it. Like, she took what she knew about Rizzo's advantage and told the tribe that she wanted to bond with so that she could get in with them. And then this episode, all she needed to do was figure out what to tell the other two to convince them why she wanted to vote out one of her former tribe members, who to them, Sage was working with. Like, at face value, it looked like they were together, unless they could see right through it, which who knows. But all she needed to do was sit back and wait for Shannon to say, I want to vote Juwan. And now she's like, bingo, let me swoop in, tell Juwan that it's him tonight, get him on my side. And then we go to Nate. And Nate is up. I'm sorry. No, then they go to, who's the other person?
Nate on the couch. Nate, Alex.
No, sorry. Juwan.
Oh, Steven?
Steven?
All she has to go is go tell Steven, like that, okay, it's Shannon. And Steven has no other choice. Like, if they're saying a name other than Steven, like, sweet. Like, I'm going to vote with you two. I'm not going to try to force a 2-2 vote against somebody I barely know. Like, that makes no sense. So, all to say, Sage, excellent job using the information that you have against the people you need to use it against.
And I feel like Sage and Steven kind of were building that up a little bit on the last swap tribe, because they talked about how Shannon is kind of moving through the tribe. So I feel like this wasn't too crazy of a thing to happen, and for them to come together on it after how that went. So I guess let's talk about like tribal and how the vote played out. Kevin, what did you think of this tribal council?
Yeah, I mean, so one, I think before going to tribal, or even like also like we were on a disaster tribe for Vula, so we kind of like thought, we knew from the moment we landed on Marooning, we're like, we're definitely going to tribal. So like before the immunity challenge even starts, like we were already pitching names in the very, very beginning. And I will say, like, I think the best players, or just like a really good survivor player, would not necessarily like impose like, this is the plan, this is what we're going to do. What they're really good at is like seeding the information and like letting it marinate. And like, I just don't think you can do that after an immunity challenge when you're like, okay, you got about 4 hours to decide. And you're like, this is what do you guys think about Kara? And you're like, Kara? Like, when did Kara come about? And you're like, I've been thinking about this for days. You kind of have to let it marinate into people's minds of like, this is what you've been seeding all along. Here are the reasons why. And like, hopefully making them feel comforted that they're also part of the decision-making. So I think even Shannon and Sage, you know, telling the old Hina tribe on the other tribe, they were like, you know, she was saying, Rizzo has an idol. What she was doing was basically just like planting some seeds and letting them get to that point maybe later if they did lose immunity, and not having it sprung up the moment they lose an immunity challenge and have to go to tribal. So I think like just having all those dynamics happen of like, okay, Steven, or like Steven's being like, I'm on the outs already. What would happen? And yeah, once a name's being thrown, you do not want to throw a name at all. Like, you just want to wait and wait and wait. And someone's like Joanne, and Joanne's like, done. Like, so I think that's actually like a great play that Sage did, was just like, wait, cause some like doubt or mistrust. And then right when Shannon says Joanne, she's like, thank you. and then moves over to them and is like, Steven, I'm sparing you because it should be you. Jawan, I'm also sparing you because if it was up to me and Steven, we would vote you out. So like she just had a multiple opportunity and multiple options to be able to choose from. And to her, it was like, where does she think would be the best play? So I think during tribal, I mean, I think probably what everyone was talking about was just the handshake and what happened. So I want to ask you guys what you guys thought about the handshake, and could you do that if you guys were on, like, I mean, putting yourself in Sage's position or Shan's position, like, what did you guys think? And would you do that at tribal?
I don't know if I could do that. I think if someone was voted out and they're trying to give me a hug, I'd probably just give them a hug, even if I maybe wasn't the biggest fan of them. I don't know. I think like good for Sage for like knowing like her boundaries and knowing like, you know what, I can't hug you. Like good on her for that. I don't know if I could do that. But yeah, it was really, it was kind of cool to see like something like that happen. What did you think, Tori?
It was definitely a funny moment from a viewer standpoint, probably awkward for the people that were sitting right there. I respect her realness. To your original question, Kevin, I also am with Kara. I don't know if I'd be able to just stick out my hand and be like, I can't do this right now. So again, respect her honesty and her realness. I do think that when somebody got voted out and they want to hug you, like I probably will just hug them, but I'm not a big fan of hugs at tribal in general after somebody's just been voted out, because it's usually the people that just voted them out that stand up. They're like, good game, buddy, like whatever. And I feel like if I'm that person that just got voted out, I'm not wanting to give hugs. Like as much as I might love them as people, like y'all just voted me out. So, I'm not like a huge fan of hugs at tribal, just like in general. So I guess that's just like a little thing that I will throw in there.
I will say that, like, speaking obviously from experience of getting voted out day 5, no, but when I got voted out, it's such a surreal moment. So like you're just waiting, and then obviously I got blindsided too because I was like, oh, it's not gonna be me. And then once they were like, Kevin, what do you think? Are you confident? And I was like, yes. And like, oh, it is me. Like I think the moment they're like, how confident are you? And I was like, very confident. And they're like, okay. And I was like, should I not be? Like, what do I do? But overall, like I think once you're at tribal and you see the writing on the walls, like the first name come up and you're like, okay. And then it's also, you know how the votes like happen. Like you put like, if you see your name, like your Shannon saw her first vote on Jawan, I'm like, oh, interesting. Like if it was switched and it was like Shannon, Jawan, but like the fact that it was Jawan first, I'm like, oh, okay. If I was Shannon, I'm like, yeah, it's happening. Or like if the second vote is not Jawan and it's Shannon, it's happening. I actually thought, to be honest, I thought Shannon kind of handled the exit with a lot of grace. Like she was very if I had to get voted, I mean, sorry, not if I did get voted out, I was so shocked that I was like blinking my eyes. I was like, and like, you're supposed to get your torch. It's just like there's so many things in your head. You're trying to compartmentalize like what happened, why. But in that moment, you gotta like get your bag, get your shoes that are like tied, whatever, go to your torch, get your torch, and then like somehow like pass them as you're walking like to Jeff. And Jeff has a little torch snuffer thing and like has it, and you're just like computing all these things. If I didn't do that on top of someone not giving, if I did give a hug and someone's being like, this is all I can give you, I'd be like, I don't even know what to think of it. So the fact that Shannon was like just composing, even if she was thinking XYZ, the fact that she didn't like, blow up, she wasn't upset, she wasn't angry, she just was like, okay, like, it is like, I gotta commend her for that, because that is very hard to do in that moment. You just got voted out. Like you're not the one even mad. So someone who voted you out doesn't want to, like give the warm. So yeah, I think it's just both ways. Like probably Sage is feeling this way for a while, and she's been on the same tribe as her for ever, right? It was like
whole game, yeah.
Whole game. So maybe like I did it. Like sorry. Like yeah. So I mean, just kudos for both of them for handling that situation, because it is really tough. Like it's very hard to be able to handle that.
Yeah, Sage is clearly also just like not a fake person. So probably all that time of having to be fake with Shannon just was exhausting to her, and she could finally just be honest. Like She's like, you're the one that's voted out. I'm safe still here right now. And I don't have to be fake with you anymore. It probably felt good.
It probably did, yeah. She probably felt a little bit relieved. And also, like, like you said, like, so much is happening in that moment. It probably didn't even really register to Shannon, like, what's happening. And she's, like, in shock that, like, oh my God, like, all these people I thought were working with me voted me out. Now she doesn't want to give me a hug. I don't know. I feel like it's probably such a crazy experience to go through, you know.
It just reminded me also, like, I mean, this is the social zone, social survivor social. So it's obviously talking about the social game, and it made me realize, like, that even if your own perception of, like, how you're giving yourself off to other people, like, may or may not be the way that people either want to be received or even, like, receive it, even if you're telling them, like, this is what I think. So, like, for Shannon's case, like, yeah, when you're tribe swapped into a location, situation where it's two of you guys and you're in the minority, right? Yeah, they're in the minority with one Keller member, but that Alex is safe. He's not getting voted out. And it's like either going to be Sage or Shannon. So, like, yeah, she's going to pitch Sage because, like, it's just the most obvious person. It's kind of like Matt and Jason. Like, they should just pitch each other and just say, like, in order to survive a tribal, you have to go after the other person, so you don't get voted out. And maybe in that situation, like, once they went back to the second tribe swap and, like, oh, we're swap back together now, they're back in the power position. You just gotta pivot, like, well, and being like, okay, whatever was said in the past, yeah, sure, that's what happened. And then probably Shannon in her mind is like, you know, whatever was said in the past is the past. Now we're in a new group where I can position myself, and we're in now the majority now, so now I can feel. But I think just to say, just like, you can't just, like, ping pong and, like, say these things, then don't say these things, say it's gonna be me, and then don't say it's gonna be me. So probably just didn't work out that way. Now, if you had a player who was, like, very okay with that and they're being like, yeah, toss my name around, I don't care, because then it may work. So I think it's just one of those situations where it was just those two having to be paired up through each tribe swap and just led to this kind of exit.
Yeah.
100%.
I feel like that's a conversation you have to have, like, are you okay if we say each other's name, you know? And then that kind of makes it easier to go about things. But just to, like, go out and just do it without talking about it,
yeah,
I could see why, you know, people wouldn't like that. But let's go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, it'll be social hour.
Do you have what it takes to outwit, outplay, and outlast? Katie does. Since 2015, she's been handcrafting Survivor treasures for super fans just like you. Hidden immunity idols, she's got them. From one world to the Philippines, every piece is designed and created by Katie herself. Check this out, Katie's brand new tribe emblem coin, a collectible inspired by Survivor All-Stars, a must-have for any super fan. Keychains, oh yeah, ride along with Keith's legendary tuk-tuk or try your luck with the do or die twist. What is that, the most famous stick in Survivor history? Yes, that stick. Katie doesn't stop at idols. Oh no, she's even bringing in international flavor with an Australian Survivor cookie idol twist. Idol nullifier, safe or not safe, she's got them too. How about something you can actually wear to tribal? Katie's Survivor earrings are hot right now. Want your idols on the go? How about keychains? Take your tribe with you everywhere. And don't forget Katie's most famous Survivor product, Survivor trading cards. Fans love them, and so do the players. With over 500 cards and full stats on the back, you can collect your favorites from every season, including the full jury from Survivor 48. Katie Tedesco Art is the Survivor super fan shop, made by a fan for the fans since 2015. Check it out now on Etsy.com and follow her on Instagram at Katie Tedesco Art.
Okay, it is time for social hour.
Wait, Kara, was that real? No, it wasn't, right? That
What was it?
commercial?
Yeah, it is a real commercial. Isn't it great?
Okay. I'm very gullible. I'm like, wow, I want to buy that.
And you can go to her Etsy shop and buy it.
I will buy it ASAP. Yeah.
It is some cool stuff. I'm like,
It
I
is.
always think that every time I see the ad. I'm like, dang, okay.
Let me find. Okay, here we are, the questions. So the first question is from Chris. Kevin, how is your shoulder?
Aw, thank you, Chris. It's a lot better. It's been, you know what's crazy is that I feel like the Survivor World, our season aired less than a year ago. It aired in late February, early March. And I feel like I've been in this, like, Survivor, like, just universe for a long time because we filmed last year. So just, like, it's been a long time, but I tore my shoulder obviously on the show, but it was in June and took me, like, probably 7-8 months to recover. and then start working out like fully. And I can do it now. So it's been a year and a couple months, but fully recovered. I still feel a little bit nervous when I like do exercise and stuff, but it's definitely a lot better. Thank you for asking. I know it's kind of hard to see. Also, I didn't tell my mom and dad too. So on the show, they were like, "Did you get hurt?" And I was like, "You know, we all get hurt emotionally, like mentally." And then when it aired, my mom was like, "What happened?" Like, what? And I was like, "Just watch." I was like, "It's
How
fine."
did you hide that?
I just came back and she was like, "You're so skinny," and I was like,
Thank you.
yeah. I was like, "You noticed." Yeah. So it's just like,
Okay, next question. Ollie asks, what tribe of 4 would you have wanted to swap to? Okay.
you guys answer.
Oh, okay. Tori, you go.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I feel like it's an obvious answer, especially for me being such a Sophie B stan. It's got to be the new Hina, the new yellow tribe. That's also the tribe, as we were saying on the after show last night. It has like all of the main characters, so to speak, from this season on there. And they all just seem like really fun people. Also, you got, I mean, obviously, if I'm on the tribe of 4, it would eliminate one of the 4 people. But theoretically, if I'm there and all these people are also there, we've got MC, who is an absolute beast. We are not losing if we have her.
Tori, why do you like Sophie? I mean, I love her too, but I want to know what you like so much about Sophie B.
It's so funny at this point. I don't know, like she, first of all, like I love a queen that can like go through that many tribal councils and survive. Like it just speaks a lot to their game, obviously. And I don't know, I've talked to her a little bit on social media and she just seems like a real one. Like she seems like somebody I could vibe with. So I'm just liking her character that she's bringing out there. And yeah, her gameplay is obviously stellar so far. She's killing it.
Yeah. I think I agree. I think I would also want to go to the new Hina tribe if I had to be swapped. I mean, as long as I was like in with everyone there, then I would want to be there. So, you know what? I'll say a different one though, just to keep it a little different. So I'll say the Kella tribe because I think, yeah, I'll say the Kella tribe. What about you, Kevin?
Is that Shannon, Sage?
Shannon, Sage, Jawan, and Steven. I feel like there's a lot of tension there where maybe they wouldn't be looking at me, you know?
True.
Okay. That's an interesting point. I like that reasoning.
Yeah. Okay. So like in order to not get voted out, which tribe would I want to be on? Yeah, I want to be on MC and Savannah and Rizzo. And like to not get voted out, that tribe. Now to like cause like stir drama and like cause stuff to happen to see alliances, I would go with the Sophie, Christina, Nate, and who's the 4th one? Christina, Nate,
Alex.
Oh yeah, Alex. Just because like maybe I'm the 5th person on a new tribe, whatever. But it's like, you know, it's like a 2-1-1. It's very like interesting because like the other ones were 3-1, 3-1. So like this is a 2-2 or 2-1-1. That's interesting to me because that's like you have room to play. It may not be as predictable as possible, and it could be, you know, like a different vote. And also like I think it's cool. I mean, I never did this because I was just on Vula, but to be swapped into a new tribe where you meet new people and like you do one immunity challenge, you're going to tribal, like this is fast. You better think of a connection and start throwing out a name. And you know what's crazy? I did this LRG.
Yeah.
LRG. A couple of weeks ago, and I've and just like my first time ever, I've never done it. And I kind of realized that I should have done this a long time ago and done these before going on Survivor, because it is very helpful to know what people think about you, or just even do like.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, but the first thing like I realized is that when someone throws a name, it is like everyone's like, so what do you think? Like, what do you do? Like, and you're like, I don't know. Everyone is so like amazing. And it's like, okay, we don't think anyone's amazing. But second of all, like no one threw our name, and then someone's like, maybe Colby, and then everyone starts like jumping on it instantly. So I think like in this situation, like when Shannon's like, oh, Jawan, it's like, okay, they instead of jumping, they just use the information. So never say the first name. Like, even if you're dying to, you must be in the worst situation possible, like to throw out a name, because the moment you throw out a name, people use that instantly to turn it against you.
100%.
You know what? I think it's time we just get into Social Butterfly. Okay, so social butterfly is who we think did best socially in this episode. Do either of you have someone you're thinking, or would you want me to go first?
Go first, Kara.
Okay, I think I'm going with Sophie from the original Hina tribe as my social butterfly this episode because I really enjoyed like seeing her hear that her name was out and go to Alex and immediately try and like make a bond with him and make something come from that. I thought that was a great social play and yeah, I enjoyed seeing more of her because I feel like we haven't seen a lot of her, so I like to see that from her, like to see her have that little social moment.
I mean, that's not my vote, but I'm just agreeing with you. I think I wish to see more of her. I think her and Christina are like it's hard when you don't go to tribal. You just don't get those confessionals that are like, okay, what's your game plan or what do you do? So the fact that she immediately clocked that someone was throwing her name out, even if it was Christina, like her, it was like, and also she was there too. So it wasn't like a backstabbing thing. She literally said like, we're gonna vote you and you're the decoy, or we're gonna vote Nate and you might be the decoy or something. But yeah, I think that will be interesting to see. Like, I hope she like gets more screen time coming up in the future, and I hope Hina and Uli, like, I don't know, like we'll need to talk after the social butterfly segment of like what do you think will happen, because like it is an interesting number of people. It's like 5-4-2, yeah, 5-4-2,
Yeah.
which means like it could be majority. Okay, anyways, but Kara, I agree with you. Sophie S, food queen, diet food queen she is. Yeah.
Diet food queen.
All right, Tori, who do you think?
Oh my gosh, I'm going next. Okay, so for me, it's gonna be. I think I'm gonna say Jawan because even though he's fumbled a few times throughout the game, right? Like he's not in Savannah's good graces, but we're not with Savannah anymore right now. He gets into this new tribe and he's bonding with Steven. So I was also maybe thinking Steven because like he's building this bond, and whether or not that's really going to like take them very much further in the game, that remains to be seen. But for this episode and for a couple episodes before this, I mean, Jawan, whether or not he's really planning on working with these people, is doing a really good job of making them feel like he's working with them. So he did that with Steven. And I know we're not talking about previous episodes here right now, but he was doing that earlier with like Jason and even with like Matt. Like he really made Matt feel like his plan was going to work for him. So I think Jawan's actually been doing pretty well socially, not with his main people, ironically enough. So I'll say Jawan.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I mean, I was also thinking Sage because she was able to, you know, get Steven and then vote out Shannon. But you know what? Something that I kept thinking and then I kept forgetting about that I wanted to say about Jawan and Shannon. No, Jawan and Sage is that I don't think they even know, but like them taking out Shannon here is actually really good for them, whether they know it or not, because Shannon was with those four and you know, Shannon was obviously going to just link back up with them come merge. So like, I think overall this was a very good move for them, whether they see it or not. I don't know if they see it. I don't remember if they talked about it, but I just wanted to mention that.
I agree.
That's
a good point.
I totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we have Sophie and we have Jawan, social butterflies. So this brings us sadly to the end of the episode.
Wait. What about Kevin's social butterfly?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought Kevin went with Sophie. Did you have
No, wait. Sorry, yours is Sophie. Mine is a new one.
Oh, no, I'm so
I was
sorry.
agreeing with you. But also, I was like, oh, okay. The butterflies go to the girls. I was like, the girls and the butterflies. I am just, I'm supporting them.
No.
I was like,
I'm so sorry.
I thought you were going to be like, Kevin, like, what's
Not a boy.
just say you're a butterfly. You know what? Actually, don't say it. Like, just shut up and just move on. Like,
I'm so sorry.
no, but also remember when Sophie was like, "Pick me. I'm your new Sophie." Like, yes, yeah, Zayn. Okay, we need to Zan. We need to
have a turn.
switch. I'm in a minority alliance here. I need to play my idol or something because
I'm so sorry. You can get 2 social butterflies.
Okay,
now.
thank you. And I also have an advantage.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. This is my. They made it the seat for me for free. I was Sophie S.
That's so good.
So I'm gonna play this for myself, and I'm gonna have 2 social butterflies. So remember when Sophie was like, "I could be your new Sophie. Like I'm the new Sophie. Like that's cute."
I love it.
Socialness, like getting her. Anyways, okay. Thank you, Zans. Real one. Vote for you. So I think like you guys have made really good choices. I think also it's hard to like social game. I think the people who have formulated like good inroads, like Sophie B finding the knowledge is power, like social, like I think like those are great things, but we just didn't go to tribal, so we just couldn't see those relationships really like test that play in the social skills. So I'll just go to the ones who did go to tribal. I'm gonna say Steven. And I think the reason why I would put Steven is because like him going into a minority with 3 already is nerve-wracking because you're just like, I'm such an obvious like person. And in the previous 2 tribals, the obvious minority person went home. So like Matt and Jason, yeah, they just and then so I think going into this one, you're like, wow, if it's a truly a Hina Uli war, like there's literally no reason why they should keep me, because they should just decimate another Hina, and then they have obviously majority going into the merge. Steven not reacting right away and feeling, I mean, he probably was really scared and really paranoid inside, but just like keeping it cool, keeping a good relationship with Jawan about Marvel and dad jokes or whatever. And then I think him sensing that, okay, Jawan is like, you know, he's nervous. He's like a little kid, like kid in a candy store. He's just like, maybe he can connect with him that. And then to connect with Shannon so much, where Shannon is like, I trust you more than I trust a person on who I've been in the same tribe with for like 9 days, like, or whatever, 7 days. That's a lot. And I think Steven was just I'm not sure if he was like overly expressive with his socialness. I think he was more like reserved and more conservative in how he looks. He's waiting to see kind of what people are having conversations with. He wasn't throwing out names. He was just very even. I think that's the best way to play it here, because maybe he sensed Shannon and Sage were like about to explode on each other. So just being there, being like, I'll do what you want. Like you want to say a name. Like if Sage is like, Steven, it's going to be Shannon. You're like, great. Like as long as it's not me. And the fact that it's not even a question that it's me, or even if it is and you're lying to me, it seems like you're telling me the truth. It seems like you really want to get rid of one of your own. So I think he played it like perfectly that round. I don't know what he could have, maybe one less dad joke. I'm totally can't say no, but like I think the way it worked for him, like in him going into the merge, I don't know what you guys think. I don't think he's so big of a threat where people are like, we got to get out. Like people who I see as threats, because they're amazing. MC physical threat. Like I hope she wins a lot of challenges, because if people see her as a physical threat already and she's already killing in all these challenges, the moment you lose one challenge, like I don't know, like I mean I hope she does really well. But even like Steven, I just don't see as someone who they're gonna be like, he needs to go. He has enough inroads, enough alliances to make it. So
Yeah. I agree. I really like Steven, and I feel like every time we see more and more of him, like he just gets better and better. And I think we're just gonna be good for him. I think people are gonna want to continue to work with him and build that relationship. So I think that's a good pick. So now we have Steven, Jawan, and Sophie S. Yay, social life.
Yeah.
yeah.
Good job. Yeah. Okay, now it brings us to the end of the episode. So sorry, Kevin, again for
do it. You know what, Kara? It was needed. Like we needed to really take one out of our own here, and you did that. You did your big one here. So I was like, close me off.
Your big move.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But thank you so much, Kevin, for joining us, and thank you everyone for tuning in and watching. This has been so much fun getting to talk about this episode. This was a really good episode, so I'm glad we got to talk to you about it, Kevin. Talk with you about it, Kevin. So Tori, where can the people find you?
So I'm just chilling on Instagram. I'm doing a little TikTok here and there talking about Survivor. So come check it out. See if you think my takes are hot takes. A lot of times they are. So come chat with me. And you can also find me on the pre-show every single week, and sometimes filling in either here or on the after show or just bopping around the YouTube channel. So come say hi.
Yes. And Kevin, where can everyone watching find you?
I only really have Instagram and I have TikTok, but I don't use it that much. Kev Fitness 90. I don't post like consistently stuff. I just post things I find that are funny. But also sometimes watch parties. Next week there's an RHAP in SF. Are you guys going to that?
No.
No, but those are always so good.
Yeah, it'll be
Love
fun.
it.
There's a lot of SF alumni, or just a lot of alumni going. So I'll take a lot of pictures there, send it to you guys. I'll ask everyone who their social butterfly is and being like, do we not like men together? Kara needs to know. Like, we need to.
Congratulations, they're a part of our alliance.
Yeah, if I see two men together, I'll be like, Kara, like, X them out. Yeah, we can't have that today.
Oh my god.
That is so funny. Yes, definitely everyone follow Kevin, follow Tori. You can follow me on Instagram at XOX_Kara as well. And as a reminder, we have Stock Watch on Friday at 1 p.m. We have Got Something For You on Saturday at 3. Remember to like, subscribe to Survivor Now on YouTube, Spotify, follow us on Instagram, and we will see you next week. And remember to stay social.